All right, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Ozark Living. Today, we're gonna talk about the cons of Sunrise Beach. Now, if you missed it, go back to Tuesday's video and watch the pros of Sunrise Beach. So what we've had are a number of people reaching out, asking questions about this area. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? What is it like? What are the amenities? What do homes look like? And what are price values? So Tuesday we did a video on the pros. Today we're going to talk about the cons of Sunrise Beach. Let's check it out. Welcome back everybody. Hey, my name is Scott, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. And while you're here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell, because every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm dropping a new video telling you everything you need to know about moving to or living in Lake of the Ozarks. We are also a group of licensed lenders and agents, so as much as I love making these videos, I would love even more to help you with your lending or real estate needs. So that number popping up below, I am the guy who answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's a scenario I can help you with or a question I could answer, I would love to do that for you. Till then, today we're going to be talking about some of the cons of Sunrise Beach. Now again, we just got done talking about the pros of Sunrise. Today, some of the cons, and maybe some of the pros could be cons for you guys, and so we'll have to uncover that and explore it a little bit. But when we were talking about the pros, we were talking about being away from Osage Beach, the retail stores, the congestion of tourism, and just where everything is at. And so as some folks think getting over to Sunrise that is a positive thing and that is a pro, others could look at that as a con. And so here's the reason why. You gotta remember, there are only so many bridges that go across the waterways. And what we'll do is we'll pull up a map and we'll show you when you're in Sunrise Beach, one of the main bridges that will go across the waterway that's in that area is the toll road. And so one of the cons of living here, that if you had to cross over to Osage or go into the other side of the lake, you might have to travel that toll road. And so what that looks like is every time you cross that bridge, it's going to cost you $2 in the off season and $3 during the season. So $2 to $3 every time you cross it one way and the other way could for sure add up. Now, there are other bridges that will go across the water. So the con to what that would look like is there might be a longer drive time. You might have to backtrack, go across the water, and come all the way back around into the Osage area. And so, depending on what that looks like for you, and again, the purpose of the home, if this is a vacation home and you can be separated from all of that stuff and you want a little bit more privacy and local feel, great. But if this is a permanent home for you and you're going to be living in Sunrise and maybe working in Osage, and you have to cross that water once or twice per day, you might want to think about, where do we put that home, and are we going to be okay with going across that toll bridge and paying that toll? Or if we don't want to spend that money, then we have to backtrack, and that could take 35 to 45, 50 minutes just to backtrack around. And so those are the things that you got to think about when you're coming down here, is what does it look like to go from where you live to maybe where you need to be. So one of the cons, got to think about it. Do we want to cross that toll bridge every single time, or do we want to add more time to our drive and go around the other side? And I don't know, add more time is going to add more gas. So maybe you just spend the money or you put it in your gas tank. Those are things that we're gonna have to look at and figure out. And we can show you what that looks like, when you make that trip down here. A potential another con in this area, if you think about it, it's a pro because there's a lot of these lakeside restaurants that are a lot of fun. And the con to that is a lot of those places are gonna shut down in the wintertime. And so it's a touristy based environment. And when the tourists leave, then there's not enough, locals that are going to sustain and keep those businesses running. And so a lot of those lakefront restaurants like Captain Ron's and Frank and Louie's and Lakeside 13s and Bare Bottoms, they're going to shut down during that winter season. And so as much fun as all of those places are is during the summertime, that could be a potential con, right? You're living there and your favorite places to go and hang out and where you're known and it's your local establishment, some of those places might shut down. And so something to think about. There's still going to be plenty of local restaurants, away from the water that are going to remain open. But if you really, really love this area because you love those lakeside places, you might want to think about that and weigh those pros and cons, right? Is that worth it? Is it not worth it? The majority of those lakeside restaurants, no matter whether it's in Sunrise or Osage or anywhere else, the majority of them are probably going to shut down during the wintertime because there's not enough touristy or not enough local traffic to keep them open. So being over in the Sunrise Beach area, we know it's a little bit of a further drive if you had to go to Osage. So you have to uncover what that drive looks like. You know that you have those local restaurants that you really like, that some of those might shut down during the wintertime season. And then just the rest of the amenities, right? There's one grocery store. You got Woods Grocery Store. So I hope you like Woods, but if you don't like to shop at Woods, then that's another thing to think about is how far do I have to go to have more grocery store options, more retail store options? How far is, the hardware store? You're going to have a lot of local businesses over in that area. And really just a con to potentially think about is, do you like those businesses, or do you need to have more businesses and more options? Then you might need to look at a different part of the lake, right? We know Sunrise Beach is going to be, again, more of a local community, more full-time people that live there, less tourists and seasonal folks, but some of that could potentially be a con for whatever it is your needs are. And if you're coming down and you need to be around all the amenities, or you have to be close to a hospital, for instance, or something like that, then that is something to for sure talk about and try to uncover. When we come down and we're interested in this area, then great. We'll show you around that area. We'll go lakeside. We'll drive around, but then ultimately we want to say, hey, let's go ahead and explore what it looks like to, drive over to Osage or drive down to Camden. And are you okay with the toll road and spending $2 to $3 every time you cross the bridge? Or are you okay with driving the other way down and around to kind of come back into those areas? And so, what could be a pro for some could be a con for other. And we already know that as this channel evolves, right? What some people feel is a negative, others might feel that it's a positive. And so with Sunrise in particular, again, local community, local feel. If you have to cross that waterway, you have to explore which route you're going to take, how much you want to spend either on tolls or on gas. You have to think about the local community around there and the local restaurants, and is there enough open during those winter months? And maybe you're coming down purely for, vacation stuff, or you're mainly going to be here in the summertime, then obviously that con's not going to matter much. When you come down to visit, all those places are going to be open. You can enjoy it. And when you're not here, then you're going to be able to rent out your property. The rentability of being in those areas during the summertime is obviously still going to be there. The restaurants are going to be open. Tourists are going to want to Airbnb your property or VRBO it. And so that's going to be a pro mixed in with a con video. But it's something to think about as you uncover this particular area. The grocery stores, the gas stations, the other local businesses that are there. Do we like these businesses? Is this going to be conducive for what we need? Or do we want to be closer to more retail options, the hospital, fast food? There is no fast food in Sunrise Beach. So there you go. There's another con. No fast food in Sunrise Beach, no Starbucks. In fact, there's only one Starbucks on the entire lake, and that's in Osage. So whether you like Starbucks, don't like Starbucks, pro, con, don't know, but you're going to understand that Sunrise is going to be a little bit of a slower pace, a little bit of a more local feel. Those lakeside restaurants will shut down a little bit. The roadways will be less traffic, but it might take you longer to get to more dense and populated areas. And again, it's all conducive of what you need and what you're looking for. Are we moving here permanently? Is this a vacation home? Are we just purely buying investment homes? So those are the things that we can help talk through. We can show you properties. We can get you set up on a home search. So remember, I say it all the time, we are licensed lenders and agents. So as much as we love making these videos, we would love even more to help you with your lending or real estate needs. So that number popping up below, I am the guy who answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If you want to talk more about Sunrise Beach and some of the pros and cons of Sunrise Beach or any other area on this lake, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I'd love to have that conversation with you. Till then, have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye.